Hello everyone, welcome back to Wood Fire Smoke. Today we're getting ready for the big game tonight with Tennessee's opening game Thursday night against America's 51st state, Ball State. Um, just happy to have football season kicking off, but we got something special going to be cooking for you today. That's is a crowd pleaser at any time, and that's spicy, smoky, tangy country style ribs. So y'all hang in there with us and let's get cooking. Hope you'll forgive my camera work, but today I'm working alone, so just doing the best we can with it. Country style ribs. Country style ribs are actually not a rib at all. They're just sliced up pork butt into the shape of ribs. And they can be a pork loin too. You have bone-in country style rib that'll have the bone still in it. But today we've got the country style ribs. It's actually just a sliced up pork butt. They are relatively cheap. This large pack right here came from Costco, and it's 6 pounds for 20 bucks. So I think it's going to feed plenty of people and on a budget. But anyway, let's get started here. For your country style ribs anyway, you want to first thing you'll do is get gloved up. Keep the mess down. And country style ribs, like a regular pork butt, they need to cook for a little while. So, but we're going to do these a little bit different from what you would do a regular pork butt. I mean, they're cut thinner, so they are going to cook faster. But so we're going to set these out on the board here. You want to feel of them as you go. Make sure there's no bone shards in there, because there can be sometimes. And like here, we got a little bit thicker piece of fat than what I would like on it, that fat cap from the top of the pork butt. So I'm going to take that off. You can leave it on if you want. It doesn't matter. It's just my personal preference. One thing I'd stress to everyone that's watching this cooking show is learn to do you. Don't let anyone tell you that there's one way to cook anything. That's me included, anybody. You just get out there and experiment. I don't measure things for the most part, unless it's baking. You have to measure in baking, but you just cook, taste, build flavors as you go. Try to work within flavors that make sense. Like today, I'm going to show you a little bit of how we're going to build some flavors, because I've got a plan on this. Is we're going to go spicy and sweet. So starting out, we're going to go with Meat Church's Honey Hog Barbecue. It's got honey in it. We're going to find out a little bit more about that a little bit later, about how we're going to repeat these flavors. And I'm going to go liberal on these with this powder. Get it rubbed in there real well. Got us a big pan full of them here. Really excited about football season kicking off again. It's always a long year in between. I think everyone is. Everybody's glad to see fall coming. Fires, sweaters. It's my kind of my time of year. Okay, I've got these all seasoned up with the Meat Church Honey Hog Rub. Now I'm going to put a little bit of salt on them. There's salt in the rub, but it's not as prevalent as what I would like. It's more of a sweet rub. I'm going to put a little bit of pepper. There we go. Just roll them around and all that. A little bit more salt. More pepper. Now we're going to put these on the grill, on the smoker, the Recteq 680 at 200 degrees. I'm going to put them on here for about 45 minutes, and that's just so that they'll pick up a lot of extra smoke. I always try to keep my meat as cold as I possibly can before I put it on the smoker, because if you put cold meat on a warm smoker, it seems to pick up smoke better, and it just it allows it to absorb more of the smoke and more of that smoky flavor. So let's go ahead and get these on the smoker. Put the smaller pieces toward the areas that you know that are a little bit cooler, and the larger pieces to the areas that you know are a little bit warmer. A little braising liquid that we're going to braise these in later on. We're going to get some smoke on them right now, and let them cook up to a temperature of about 160 degrees, 170 degrees. We want to get them up to where they've taken all the smoke they can take, and then we're going to take them, we're going to put them in a braising liquid. So I want this braising liquid to go ahead and start absorbing smoke now, so that it's going to be as flavorful as it possibly can be. And so when you want something, a liquid to absorb smoke, you want to get a wide flat pan, or something that has a lot of surface area, because the smoke settles down on it, and you'll take it and stir it up and keep incorporating that smoke into whatever your liquid is, whatever it may be. So first we're going to start off with, you see I've cheated here a little bit. I had a partial bottle of Frank's. We're going to put in about, I don't know, let's say 3 cups. 3 cups of Frank's hot sauce. 3 tablespoons of ketchup, I'd say. There we go. 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, maybe 3. A couple tablespoons of white vinegar. That's actually had a little bit of lemon juice in it, because I didn't want to sit out here squeezing lemons all day, but I'll go ahead and put this one in there. I'd already did a couple in that one. Where did my knife go? Okay, we're going to put about a 1/4 cup of lemon in it. Try to catch the seeds if you can. It doesn't matter if you don't, because, well, we're not going to be like digging in and eating this sauce, but we will be putting it back over the ribs later on. I'll show you that in a few minutes. I'm putting the liquid elements in first, because I'm going to pour some of this off, but I'm going to put about, how many ounces of beer is in that? I don't know, 8 ounces of a darker beer. I wish I had a darker beer than this, but this is all we had. It's the Yuengling, but it'll do fine. Put a couple tablespoons of Worcestershire Sauce. 1, 2. And I'm going to put a little bit, to repeat those flavors, I'm going to put a little bit of the rub in there, which there'll be some rub getting in it when we set those ribs down in it later on, but I just want to get some extra in there for right now. And then we're going to put a little bit of a neutral oil. Put a couple tablespoons of that. I'm using avocado oil here. I don't usually use seed oils, but you certainly could use a canola oil if that's your thing. We've got some solid things here we're going to do, but I want to mix this up first, because I'm going to pour some off here in just a second. So take your spatula and mix it in real good, or really well. I want to get this all incorporated so that the flavors are even. You don't have hot sauce on one end and beer on the other. Alright, there we go. Now we're going to take a ladle, and we're going to ladle a little bit of this off, because I'm going to make a glaze. So I'm going to need some of this, and I don't want the solids in it. And I don't necessarily need the onion flavor or the garlic flavor that we're going to have in this. There we go. So now we're going to go ahead and put just some rough sliced onions in it. No need to dice them up. You can if you want to, of course, but you know, it's just up to you. It's just building flavors. Now we got this gigantic, talk about, I'd say 3 cloves of garlic, because that's an elephant clove, so it's huge. Man, I may have to go get a hacksaw out to get into this thing. I'm sporting a pretty fly haircut today. Amanda King gave me. She's, I gotta admit, she's a pretty tough one. She gets in there and when she cuts your hair, she works those eyebrows over, which might need a lot of help. Ear hairs. And I appreciate that. Boy, that garlic smells good, good, good. Trying to get her to work on my nose hairs, but she doesn't have a disc grinder with high enough RPMs to get through that. And I'm going to do a little sneak this in here because I just, like I said, I can't help myself. A little bit of habanero pepper. We'll go ahead and put that in. And we're going to get this on the smoker. I'm going to let it sit in there with the meat and start absorbing as much smoke as possible. We're going to stir it about every, I'd say every 30 minutes or 20, 30 minutes. Got everything going there. Let me get some of this cleaned up and then we'll check back in. It's been about 45 minutes. We've had these cooking at 200 degrees on the Recteq using our almond pellets from Knotty Wood. And I pulled everything out because me being the cameraman, you can't see into the grill, so I'll show you what I'm doing here. But about every 15 minutes I was going in, I was stirring this braising liquid that we made. And I'm going to do that one more time here. Let's go ahead and get it. And that's to incorporate the smoke. Remember I was talking about that the large flat surface attracts more smoke. So that's what we got going here. All right. Now, we've got some smoke on these country style ribs. Now we're just going to work on cooking them. Take them, just lay them in the pan, close together. Hopefully that sauce will come up toward the top. Make sure they all fit in the pan. These, I can't tell you how tasty these are. These are so good. And they're going to, I promise you, they'll eventually become the life of every party. We'd get these, cook them just on a weeknight. If I've got some little extra time, or like a Friday night, work these in here real well. Because they don't take long at all. You can turn the temperature up on these. That's one thing that's really nice about it. You can turn the temperature up and cook them a little bit quicker. I'm going to do that. Matter of fact, I do that right now. We're going to crank this temperature up to 325 degrees. Now I'm going to put a little bit more rub on them. We'll pack these with as much flavor as we possibly can. There we go. And remember, this is that honey hog barbecue rub. It's got a lot of honey powder in it. Let's go ahead and get these back on the smoker. At 325. Now, while that's going, remember I told you that we were going to make a glaze. Let me go get that glaze and let's get it on the smoker and get a little bit of smoke into it. Okay, now for the glaze. If you recall, when I mixed up the braising liquid, before I put the solids in it, the onions and the habanero and the garlic, I poured some of it off, maybe a cup or so of just the liquid part of it. And that's what I'm going to use as my glaze. I want to get a little bit of smoke on it, so I want to get this on there now, and I want it to be warm when I apply it to the ribs. So remember I was talking about layering those flavors and repeating them to build them. Um, we put the honey rub on there first, let those cook for a while, picking up some smoke. And then when we brought them back out, put them in the braising liquid, we put some more of that honey powder on there. Now we're going to put honey in the glaze. So it's going to be a sweet, spicy heat. Now I'm going to say quarter of a cup in here. There we go. I let this honey sit on this warm table too, just so it would thin out a little bit, come out of the container a little bit easier. Mix that up really well. You better get you an old pot. This is a oven safe pot. It's got silicone and stainless steel handles, so it's not going to hurt it. And remember, we've got this smoker. We got the Countrystyle Ribs in there at 325, and we're going to go ahead and put this in there and let it start cooking down alongside the ribs. We're going to let that cook at 325 for about, I'm going to say, an hour and a half. And then we're going to come back, check the temperature. I want to get them up around 190, somewhere along in there, 180, 190. And then we'll put a wrap on them over the top of it to close them up, let them steam a little bit, pick up even more of that flavor. And we're going to rotate those ribs in that sauce so they'll pick up more and more of that flavor. So we'll see you back in a few. Okay, everyone, we're back. It's been an hour and a half. We've had them at 325 degrees. I've just temped them just a minute ago, and I've gotten them up to, they're around 180, 185. So now it's time to wrap this thing, and let's let these braise for a little while. There we go. Those are looking really nice. Really, really nice. Getting pretty excited about the football game and the Countrystyle Ribs. All right, the braising is well, if I can get this to tear off here. The braise, you want to make sure that you get this sealed up really tight. So let's go all the way around. All we got to do is close that real tight. Try to keep as much of that steam and that peppery and sweet goodness in there as we possibly can. And let's put these back on and let them cook at 325 for about 30 more minutes. And I believe we're going to be up to temperature then to where we can come in and glaze these things up and then get ready to eat. Check back with you in a few. Hi everyone, we're back. It's been about 40 minutes later, and I've already temped these, and they're up around 203, 204 degrees, so they're ready to go. So now we're going to pull these things off, and we're going to get some of this glaze that we made for them on them. Oh, be careful because you got boiling hot braising liquid in here. You do not want to spill that down your legs. Trust me. So if you can get a look at these, they're absolutely beautiful. Getting a little excited here. Okay. Take the glaze, which is all this is that the braising liquid without the solids in it. I didn't have the pepper or the onions or the garlic on it. I just poured some of it off, and then I've added some honey to it and cooked it down. Remember, we're layering those flavors. So now we're just going to, whoa, got a little bit of fumes coming off of there. It's going to be good. Now we're just going to brush this glaze over the top of them, layering those flavors with that honey, the honey powder, and the actual real honey. And we're going to save the rest of this glaze as a dipping sauce to eat when we pull these off. Glaze them up real good. If I had more help out here, I would probably pull these off out of this liquid and glaze them on a rack and set them back on the grill. But it's game night. We got to get these things ready for the game. And this is going to work out just fine. These are going to be absolutely delicious. And how do I know that? Because I've already stuck my finger in this glaze, and it's it's next level delicious. So there we go. Got them all glazed up. Set that to the side. Now we're going to put them back in the smoker, uncovered, for about 10 minutes. And we'll be back and it'll be time to eat. Okay, it's been 10 minutes. The glaze should be set. Let's pull them off here and plate them up, see what we got. Oh, yeah. I'm getting these ready. Guys, if you like what we're doing here, hope that you'll consider to take a minute to hit that like button on this video, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. All right. I'm going to go caveman style here, elegantly. Do a little eating off of a rock. I don't know why, but these go really well with rice. White rice, brown rice. It's amazing. It's one of my favorite meals, actually. So I went ahead and fixed up. And I don't spend a whole lot of time on the whole rice thing. I just get some of the instant rice. To me, it's fantastic. So I don't have any reason why I would go out and spend a lot of time on the rice. But let's see what we can do here. I'm plating these up. And I like to put a little cilantro on them. And there you have it. Country style ribs. Please don't dump that in the floor. I'm going to get me one out of here and see if I can taste it without setting myself on fire. Football game just started, so I got to get in there and start watching it. All right, let's give these ribs a taste. Smoky, tangy, zesty, sweet, and so tender. I mean, look at that. Absolutely perfect. Oh, man. It's going to be a good night of eating. All you people who are big football fans like I am, wish you and your team all the best of the luck in the world, unless you're Alabama, Florida, Georgia. Yeah, I think that about covers it. The rest of you, good luck. But anyway, hope y'all have a great weekend, a great football season. I hope you'll try these country style ribs next weekend.